Okay, it's going. It wouldn't go for a bit. I was kind of like, oh no. But now I'm like, yeah. Let's get into it. It's the Arcana. Whoop whoop. Oh, damn it. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. I think we're good now. I updated it. Yabba. Okay, so to recap, we had just arrived at the palace. We still got our bread on us. It's dope. It's dope. And we helped, what was her name? Portia? With her pomegranates. And yeah, now we're at the castle. Oh my gosh, we've made progress. Okay. 3. The Empress. Inside the palace, the floors, walls, and the steep ceilings are all clean-cut polished stone. I forgot to mentally prepare myself to read this. Okay. A servant with a blue feathered cap comes sweeping up to us. With a deep bow, they pass me and dash to Portia's side. Chamberlain, how are we doing on time?
Terribly late. The 5th course is over. Her ladyship is in a most unhappy state.
Portia chews her lip and hands the servant her fruit basket. Have the sommelier fetch a bottle of the golden goose. The servant departs at a hasty clip, disappearing behind a panel in the wall which slides seamlessly shut. Too bad. I'll escort you directly to the dining room. Dining room? Was I to dine with the Countess? I thought she just wanted our tarot cards. What? Don't tell me you thought we wouldn't feed you. I hastened to keep up with her purposeful strides. Soon we are all standing before a fine mahogany door. Portia opens the door, leading me inside. Rich scents linger in the air, unfamiliar and tantalizing.
Ah, Mr. Radish, welcome to the palace. Have a seat, you are late for dinner, I'm afraid.
She brings her glass to her lips and drinks deeply. Portia leads me to my seat. Another servant removes what might have been my plate.
I was beginning to think you had forgotten my invitation, but perhaps you are simply unaccustomed to travel. You look exhausted. Why, I can see your cheeks gleaming from here.
The Countess downs her glass and Portia appears at her side with a bottle enrobed in shimmering foil.
Ah, Portia, how thoughtful of you.
My pleasure, milady. Portia fills both of our glasses and the Countess takes a sip of hers.
A golden goose, marvelous choice, Portia.
I reach for my own glass to cover the awkward moment, and stop, transfixed by the strange painting before me. The scene is that of a meal shared among a host of figures with heads and beasts. Oh, I only had one shot to read that. I was stressing. The table is laden with small animals, provided by a central character with the head of a goat. Rays of gold glitter around its head, and its eyes are red and strikingly lifelike.
Do you like it, Mr. Radish? The painting?
I do. Yes. The Countess raises her shapely brows, eyes flashing at me over the rim of her glass.
Fascinating.
Hey, she has red eyes.
Perhaps you share my husband's unusual tastes.
Nadia's husband, Count Lucio. Rather, the late Count Lucio. Does that mean he's dead? What does the late mean?
He's the goat in the middle, of course, ever the provider. Lucio had the puppy lace eating out of the palm of his hand, much like the painting, I suppose. Whatever he offered, the people gobbled it up. They worshipped him.
It is past tense, so I think that means that
he's dead. My husband was particularly loved for his yearly masquerade.
She sets down her glass, folding her hands and resting her chin upon them.
Did you ever attend, Mr. Radish?
I don't know.
The whole city came alive for the masquerade. Revelry took hold of our hearts, young and old. All in celebration of Lucio's birthday. And what a celebration when he opened the palace gates to all.
The Countess sighs, watching the wine swirl in her glass. such a fond memory for many, and now it is shrouded in sorrow. Terrible shock to the guests. He dead. To find their host murdered so violently at the last masquerade. I forgot the voice. But yeah. The servants lower their eyes. I too avert my gaze back to the painting. Dove with boobs! Dove with boobs! My poor husband, burned alive in his own bed. Christ! Oh my god! It's the Skull of Death thing! We saw that in the last episode. And at the celebration of his birthday, what did he do to invite such hatred? After such a shocking scene, guests to the palace have been scarce. I look away from the portrait, just in time to meet the Countess's keen gaze. But now that you are here, now that I'm here, she says it with such gravity, such confidence. Countess, what does any of this have to do with me? Mr. Radish, the masquerade is precisely why I called you here. This year, I intend to hold the masquerade once more. Ooh. I stare at her. So does every servant in the room. How? Why? The festivities in Lucio's honor will be more fantastical than ever. There is but one loose end in need of tying. Count Lucio's murderer still roams free to this day. Dr. Julian Deverock, my husband's former physician. Julian! The plague doctor! We met him. I sit very still, suddenly cold all over. Wait! Oh! 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 Julian! No! About that. So yeah, he's wanted all over for killing Lucio. Dr. Julian Deverock. Now I remember the name on the wanted posters. Now I know exactly who broke into my shop. Dr. Deverock confessed to the crime when we caught him. All that is left is his sentence. Execution by hanging. There's a terrible crash. Portia's face is stricken with horror. Is he here? At her feet, the broken remnants of the golden goose are seeping into the floor. Portia? Forgive me, milady. Slippery hands. You are forgiven. Uh-oh, I think Portia might not want Julian to be hanged. Two servants rush to her aid, sweeping away the shattered mess with the wind sprint speed. This is where you come in, Mr. Radish. Dr. Deverock has been very elusive. But you have quite the reputation. Rumor has it that you have even surpassed your master, Azra. Azra! I myself see the future in dreams, whether I like it or not. And this is how I know that you are the one who will find Dr. Deverock. I already found him, but I don't know where he is right now. Well, of course I'm gonna say yes. And if we find him, the Countess sets down her glass. When we find him, we will bring him before the people so that they all may see his long-awaited punishment. And so to commence the festivities. The doctor will die on the gallows for his terrible crime. The Countess rises. On instinct, I rise as well. Portia. Yes, milady. Show Mr. Radish to the guest quarters. I imagine there is much to ponder before the night is out. Right away, milady. Portia pulls me to my feet and with a humble bow whisks me to the doorway. Portia is quiet as she ushers me down the hall toward my room. After a few turns, we pass a wide staircase, veiled in shadow. A draught rushes down from the floor above, prickling my skin. It is cold, and it smells of ash. Woo! Crawled up on the bottom step are two large, lanky dogs. I thought those were horses. Fathomless eyes fix upon me, and they rise slowly without a sound. Though they look as though they could strike at any moment, I sense no ill intent. I hold out my hand, and they approach and sniff it. Their huffing breaths tickle my skin, and their tails slowly start wagging.
Well, this is bizarre. They never take kindly to strangers. It's just how they were trained, but I've never seen them act like this.
Slim snouts brush up against my sides as the dogs investigate me further. Satisfied, they draw back, looking at me expectantly. I'm good. There's something unsettling in their gaze. It reminds me of something. I take a careful step back, giving them plenty of space. The hounds trot dutifully back to their spot. They nearly blend into the marble, but their eyes remain fixed on me.
Oh, no wonder they're like this. They haven't had their chamomile cakes.
Yeah, and as far as I'm aware, I haven't eaten anything since that one time I stopped at the baker ages ago.
She looks nervously from me to the two dogs, still as statues.
Wait here, Mr. Radish. It's probably best to keep your distance from them. I'll be right back with those cakes.
Portia swoops through a sliding panel in the wall. I'm left alone in the hallway with the two dogs. I feel the bigger one sniff my side insistently. When I look down, it simply pulls back and stares. And then the smaller one is sniffing my other side, huffing samples of my scent. I whirl around. It sits back on its haunches, watching me innocently. Cheeky. As I look into its one sanguine eye, an unsettling sensation ripples through my body like a wave of fever.
A guest?
I step back, gaze darting up and down the corridor. The voice was coming from the top of the stairs. I could only see so far into the hollow gloom. But there's no one there. I nearly jump when I feel yanking at my garments. Dogs, leave me alone! The dogs, their teeth are buried in my clothes, unrelenting as they drag me onto the stairs. I trip up the first few steps and their tails start wagging. Hey! I try to wrench myself free, but the two dogs tug stubbornly. Oh. The dogs only let me go at the top of the stairs. The floor and walls are frigid stone and the air smells of ash. Wasn't there something earlier that also smells like ash? My head is spinning, and I hardly feel the chill in the air. Though my heart is hammering, I summon a weak glimmer of light in my palm. I look around for the dogs, but they're nowhere to be seen. There's a door ahead, part way open. Inside is a deeper darkness, swallowing the feeble rays of light. Use coins to access extra content. Tap the banner to buy more. Why would I enter the room? I didn't want to go up here to begin with, and also I don't have many coins. So, breaking into a run, I dash back the way I came. I don't want the dogs to kill me. The portraits on the walls watch me run with cold, aristocratic stares. And then, out of the corner of my eye, I see a shadow moving across the wall, a monster's shape cast by an unseen form. When the shadow moves down the corridor, I hear a throaty purr as if it was right behind me. Kitty cat?
Going so soon?
I only see it for a moment, a silhouette, stark against the wall of high windows frosted with smoke. Claws. That's not a cat. Claws, horns, and hooves like an ox. The white face of a goat with red eyes fixed gleefully on me. I blink, and it's gone. I hear clambering off to the side and the creak of a door, and then silence. By the time I stumble down the stairs, disoriented, Portia is looking around the corners for me.
There you are. Where did the dogs go? Up the stairs?
All I can muster is a dazed shrug. Portia takes me gently by the elbow.
You know, I'm just gonna leave these cakes right here. Let's get you to bed.
I follow at Portia's heels until we arrive at our destination. Thankfully, it isn't much further. She swings open the door with a sweeping gesture.
These will be your quarters, Mr. Radish. You can put your things wherever you like. Breakfast is at sunrise. I'll wake you.
My fatigue must be showing. I let my bog. My fatigue must be showing. I let my bag fall to the floor. Eyeing the smooth linens, I shudder with exhaustion.
You look ready to drop. I'll leave you be. Sleep well, Mr. Radish.
Her soft voice trails off, and she gently slides the door shut. At once, I burrow into the luxurious sheets. It feels as though I'm weightless. Heart thumping to the rhythm of Portia's steady, ever-distant footfalls, I sink into unconsciousness. Alright. Chapter 4, The Emperor. That will be all for this episode. If you enjoyed, I'm glad. If not, and it's like you haven't enjoyed any of this series, this might not be the series for you. But yeah, that's all for now. Bye bye! I'm gonna edit this in the morning. What's this brush? What? What? No. Big. No way. I can draw. Hang on. Square. Oh. Biggie square. Biggie square. Green. Biggie circle. Oh my god. Wow. This is dream. Oh my god. That's great. What's this do? Ew! Okay. Do I... Okay. No, no,